Good evening everyone, Ads here from Unity Trading Group. Welcome to your Wednesday night update. Let's start with giving us a like, tap the subscribe button if you can, and of course tick that bell to stay updated on all of our content that's coming up. Of course that includes our daily updates. Now before I start, thank you all for taking the time to subscribe to the channel. We did reach our milestone of 1,000 subs over the course of this week, and just a thank you from us, of course. We did release our UTG RSI indicator for free on TradingView. So if you just type in up the top here, UTG/RSI, it'll come up right there. You can add it to your chart and you can continue to use or even start to use the RSI indicator. But let's start with BTC. So honestly, not a whole lot to say about BTC this evening. I spoke a lot on Monday, and of course I gave more information of my thoughts on Tuesday this week. So if you haven't watched those two videos, you can find it in our channel. If you just follow the links down below, you'll be able to find that. But not a whole lot in saying that now for BTC. So with BTC, we've been observing a couple of things. We've been observing the RSI being below the 50 in the red area for the UTG indicator that we've got down below. We've been observing the oversold condition in the way of our steamroller indicator, which hasn't come to fruition yet. We've had a little bit of a bounce off our level at 53K, but not substantial enough to warrant any sort of upwards direction or any upwards sloping market cycle. So nothing as of yet on the chart. And of course, we've been observing these Fibonacci levels on the way up, and most notably our 61.8, which does coincide very nicely with the gravy train resistance or the cloud formation that we're seeing up the top here in red. So in short, with BTC, not much has happened since we've spoken last night. We've really been moving to the right hand side, and I think that'll continue for the next couple of days, in my opinion, while we capture some should I say liquidity in the altcoin market, where we will continue to give the altcoins a little bit of relief or a move in either direction, of course, while BTC does move to the right hand side. We know with stability in BTC that the altcoins tend to flourish, and they do flourish quite considerably. So this is something that might happen over the course of the next couple of days, where we either ping pong in between these levels or stay pretty stable to the right hand side, above the 23 and below the 38. If we are to move to the upside, we know immediately that our 61.8 is going to be the one, or the area that we need to look for at 60,000, pretty much 60,000 even, and that coincides nicely again with gravy train as well. But if we are to come down and retest some of these levels, I'll be looking at 52 and of course 50K for the more immediate zones down there. Daily drawn in blue, 4 hour drawn in purple. So a few levels above and of course below to keep an eye out for. It's really a 50-50 shot currently. We are in a sense flagging down here, something like this. So we could have a movement soonish, but if we are to call a flag, it would be primarily a bearish flag and will break to the downsides. Typically, this sort of formation where we have a flag down, move to the right hand side, usually breaks down again. But that remains to be seen. We do have some targets down below that we have identified so far if we do get a break to the downside. So we're looking at, again, 50 or to the upside at around 60. So let's find out which way we go, bearing in mind this pattern usually breaks down. Anyway, continue. ETH USD. So gravy train paying dividends nicely on Ethereum while my chart loads up. We've been observing a couple of things. So if we are to be drawing in our level of supply with ETH, it would be here. A very similar situation that we find BTC in, where we have a pause in the market before a leg down. And that's created that level of supply here at around 2,400 or even 2,340, moving across to the right hand side. So if we put on gravy train, straight away you can see that resistance is respected very nicely. And if you want to know more about gravy train, I do encourage you to use it, or encourage you to even try it. The links are down below. But if we are to see any sort of resistance here, we need to see if we are going to continue to the downside. It would occur to me like we will. If I'm drawing in a relevant trend line, excuse me, we can see that if we're drawing in on the line chart, we can see that we are very close, if not being respected on that trend line towards the downside. So if you want a nice, easy way to draw a trend line, put the line chart on. That gives you a little bit less of a skewed or less noisy candle structure to really look at those extremities to draw your trend line on, and you can draw it nice and efficiently. And we can see immediately when we put the candlesticks back on, it's respected. So I think in the same sort of way that we're expecting BTC to test some of those downwards movements, I think we'll see that with ETH as well, with lower highs being created on the way down. Anyway, moving on, let's have a look at ADA. So ADA, now I haven't charted this recently, but it's in the same sort of trajectory as BTC, where we're creating lower highs amongst lower highs. This could go the other way, and that's why I'm drawing in these relevant levels of supply, just to give us a area to see if we will continue the other way. But if we do continue the other way with ADA and continue towards the upside, it'd be 1.35. But in the same sort of fashion as ETH and BTC, we are creating lower highs on the way down, and we are still trending below the 50 RSI using the 50 level as resistance currently. And you can see that very, very easily on the RSI indicator that we've got down below. So ADA looking like it's going to go in the same sort of direction. If I'm to draw in our most relevant level of demand, however, we can see that we are looking like around $1.10 will be something to look forward to. There are three levels that are, in my opinion, relevant, and they're all pretty close together. So that's giving us a very skewed indication of where the chart is, or where the most relevant zone is. So let's get rid of some of these zones and let's focus on the one level currently. I won't really take too much of an account into this wick through the zone. We did wick down, we did get bought up quite quickly and closed above it. So I'm not taking that into account. I'm still looking at some of this structure to the left-hand side, and the retests speak louder than the that wick through it. So I'd be expecting a more decent movement at $1.12 to really retest a lower level for ADA if you're looking for lower buys for this coin in particular. Next one is XRP USD. So XRP, same sort of trajectory, looking like we will test $1.10. If I'm to be honest with you, that downward sloping and slipping market is looking like we will come to rest at around $1.10 for XRP. I'm not looking too much into the steamroller indicator currently, but I am paying more attention to the RSI, which we are trending below that 50 as well. And the last one we'll look at this evening is the DXY. Of course, it is a regulated market. This is not financial advice, just ideas and opinions of us at UTG here. Keeping it nice, short and sweet this evening. Looking like we will continue upwards like I did mention yesterday. And that's coming to fruition with Steamroller being very accurate on the DXY, and it has been in the past. So if I'm looking at a level to really be tested, it'd be 91.52, the area that we spoke about last night, and that is the most relevant level of supply. It is very short term, but it is the most relevant level for me. And of course, I think over the next day or two, or even this evening, we'll see a retest of that level at 91.5. That really concludes our update for this evening. Thank you all for joining me. If you want to know more about any of the services that we give here at UTG, you can find them in the links down below. Please join the Discord. It is a fantastic group of traders that we've got in there now, very active across all hours of the day. But like I said, I'm Ads from UTG, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.